Good morning. I'm Jane Pauley, and this is Sunday Morning at the Okefenokee National Wildlife Refuge. We leave you this last Sunday morning of winter in Loganville, Pennsylvania, where cardinals in the snow are real standouts. Leave you this Sunday morning in a nature reserve on the Indonesian island of Sulawesi, a safe home for monkeys known as crested black macaques. Near Corolla, North Carolina.
We leave you this Sunday at Point Reyes National Seashore in California, a safe home for Thule elk, hunted nearly to extinction in the 1800s.
leave you this Sunday morning with a drone's eye view of Utah's Canyonlands National Park.
First Sunday morning of summer in a field of sunflowers in Milledgeville, Georgia.
You this Sunday morning before the 4th with one more look at Yosemite National Park in California.
We leave you this Sunday morning after the 4th with a view of eagles in the Iroquois National Wildlife Refuge in upstate New York. We leave you this Sunday with a view of the geysers at Yellowstone National Park. We leave you this Sunday morning with a look at a full moon setting over Walden Pond in Concord, Massachusetts.
We leave you this Sunday morning in Pinnacles National Park, soaring with the California condor. Nearly extinct in the 1980s, last week, conservationists announced the birth of the 1,000th chick.
leave you this Sunday morning at a gathering of cabbage butterflies near Bridgeton, New Jersey. We leave you this Sunday morning after Halloween at the Bracken Cave Preserve outside San Antonio, Texas, home to more than 15 million Mexican free-tailed bats. We leave you this Sunday morning swimming with the kokanee salmon on the North Fork of the Clearwater River in Idaho.
Leave you this Sunday morning as bears enjoy a feast in Taylor Creek in the Lake Tahoe Basin.
Near the northern New Hampshire town of Pittsburgh. Near Gardner, Montana, where for bighorn sheep, it's a sometimes challenging mating season.
We leave you this Sunday morning with swans a-swimming at Cayuga Lake, one of the Finger Lakes in central New York.
French town of Giverny, with one last look at the water lilies that inspired Claude Monet.
We leave you this Sunday looking up at a tower. Yes, a tower of giraffes in Kruger National Park in South Africa. We leave you this Oscar Sunday on the California coast, well north of Hollywood, at Davenport Beach, near Monterey Bay.
The sun has just barely come up,
You see the egret up on the right?
but photographer Scott Miller is already out on the lake with his camera.
This is church.
Miller will eventually spend all day in this Cathedral of Cypress, winding around Caddo Lake in East Texas, shooting great egrets
Can you go into these at the right here that are backlit?
and green lily pads, all to create what amounts to just 1 minute of television.
What I try to do is capture the essence, the sense of a place. And I'm very lucky in that I go to places that it's really not all that difficult to romanticize.
Miller's travels have taken him from the vastness of the Valley of the Gods in southeast Utah to the serenity of Walden Pond in Concord, Massachusetts. He's captured a charismatic fox in snowy Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming, and an elusive alligator at Aransas National Wildlife Refuge in Texas.
A lot of the places that I show, most people will never experience themselves. I pinch myself sometimes. It's very special.
Miller is part of a network of photographers spread out all across the country who capture our moments of nature. A 27-hour drive away in northwest Nevada, Derek Reich is on the hunt for some desert bighorn sheep. And obviously, because we have come to record him,
Where are you guys?
trying to record them, he has not been finding too many. Until finally, a family appears. Listen closely.
When you first got out and saw them up here, we were listening to your mic on our audio setup. And your heart was beating so fast that we could hear it.
Seriously?
Yeah. Is there an excitement for you?
Yeah, there's always an excitement.
Derek has been shooting our nature moments since the early 90s, ranging from bees in the Central Valley of California to porcupines in snowy Antelope Island, Utah, to mustangs in the Pine Nut Mountains of Nevada.
Look at that little guy.
Sometimes his favorite subject is what you can't see. He once spent an afternoon recording wind at Canyonlands National Park.
When you just stop and listen, it's amazing what you'll hear.
Ever since their debut in 1979,
We thought you might like a couple of minutes of silence now. It's a silence interrupted only by the cries of birds.
the segments have avoided showcasing any people, man-made structures, or man-made sound.
That's looking at us.
But
right in the
Reich
middle
says
of the
those
road.
places are getting harder and harder to find.
I was thinking back on the ones I've done in the past and how much more difficult it is to not have a jet flying overhead or not have a leaf blower firing up down the street or a traffic going by. And that's just the state of our natural world today. If you did away with it, what do you think the
Oh,
fallout
people would
be?
riot. When I meet people and tell them what I do for a living, oh, that's the show that's got the nature at the end of it.
See, that makes me happy. It tells me that there's some hope that people feel strongly about this stuff.
For any television reporter, it is more than a little humbling to find out that the most beloved part of our show is the moment that doesn't show a single person. But really, how could I ever compete with this? We leave you this Sunday morning at Caddo Lake in East Texas.
Cherry trees are blossoming in the nation's capital, a hopeful sign of spring. We leave you this Sunday morning at Antelope Island State Park in Utah's Great Salt Lake.
In Great Smoky Mountains National Park in Tennessee, where spring has sprung for a bear and her cubs. We leave you this Sunday morning among the flowers that bloom in the spring in York, Pennsylvania. We leave you this Sunday morning with a return visit to the Kerkenhof Tulip Gardens near Amsterdam. At Benga Lagoon in Fiji, where sharks are enjoying a quick bite. We leave you this Sunday morning with a look at egrets at the Corte Madera Marsh Ecological Reserve, north of San Francisco. In the Finger Lakes, a favorite spot for migrating snow geese.